So, good evening, guys. Good evening, Pandeyji. Good evening, Sabah. So, good evening, Gayatri. Good evening, Dipankar. So, yeah, chalo then. So, today we'll be taking up the magazine of Yojana and Kurukshetra. So, that's November edition of Yojana and Kurukshetra, and it was a wonderful magazine. Mainly Yojana was very wonderful. So you can if you get hold of this hard copy, it's very useful. So, anyways, we'll be taking up all the important articles in your Yojana as well as your Kurukshetra. So, Yojana article, it mainly revolved around your G20, and Kurukshetra. We all know that it's all about your rural affairs, like how things build up in rural India. So, good evening, Parashuram. Good evening. Prabjot, webinar is sufficient, Prabjot. Okay, so you need not go through the entire magazine, but I'll be telling if there are any important articles that you have to keep the hard copy. I'll definitely tell. But however, in this edition between your Yojana and Kurukshetra in November, if you get hold of this November Yojana hard copy, it would be very good. So there are a lot of things that's from India's perspective in G20 that you can consider. Clear? Okay. So good evening, everyone. So chalo then. So we'll start with the. So these are the important topics that we'll be covering. And before that, let me introduce to this prelims questions, the prelims PYQ, prelims test series that will be conducted. So please do consider solving these prelims questions. It's extremely important for the people who are giving in 2024, guys. It's extremely important. You cannot avoid this one. So it's very important. And it's just 11, 12, 11 sectional, and you have this 11 full length paper. So do not forget that. So please, even if you haven't completed the syllabus, don't hesitate to complete this test series that starts from 24th of December. Yeah. Okay. So, okay, fine. So let us start with the topics. So what are the topics? So these are the topics. So these are the 8 topics, and the first 3 topics are directly from your Kurukshetra. The first 3 topics is from Kurukshetra, and the last 5 topics, that is unit, that is topic number 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So these topics are from your Yojana. Yojana. Clear? So audible. Hassanullah, audible, right? Voice is okay, fine. Quality, yeah, it's audible, right? Good. Okay, Vivek. Okay, fine. So, Saurabh. Okay, fine. So we'll start with the first topic. That's your PM Vishwakarma Yojana. So, what is this PM Vishwakarma Yojana that was launched recently? So, PM Vishwakarma Yojana. So, this dealt with the empowerment of the artisans, empowerment of the mainly the rural artisans, not in general. So, it PM Vishwakarma Yojana mainly focused on empowering the artisans. So, who are these artisans? You would have seen these kind of artisans, either your pottery makers, or say your goldsmith, blacksmith, different, or say your painter, your basket making artisans, or say your weaver or idol maker. So these kind of artisans. So PM Vishwakarma Yojana. PM, you have to memorize. From this is from prelims perspective, you should memorize this. PM Vishwakarma Yojana deals with empowering of artisans. Clear? Okay, so what is let us, before getting into this Yojana, that is PM Vishwakarma Yojana, let us first understand what is the reality, what is the real situation of this artisans, what is the real condition of among our artisans. So what is the real condition among our artisans? So these artisans are extremely important for India's culture and heritage. So what do you mean by extremely important for India's cultural and heritage? So what is cultural and heritage? So cultural and heritage are your intangible assets of India. Intangible assets in the sense, say for example, creation of in the recent the newly built parliament. If you see the carpet, so that is again who created that? Again, that's the artisans. There's a wonderful artisan work where it's all about your peacock feathers. So the carpet in the new parliament depicts the peacock feathers. Who created that? Again, that's the Indian artisans. It's a pure handmade work. So this is very important. That is, Indian artisans play a very important role in upholding Indian culture and heritage. So that's why they are very important. And secondly, they contribute a lot to Indian economy. Say in terms of how do these artisans contribute to Indian economy? Can someone tell? So how do you can someone tell? Okay, fine, very good. So they contribute in terms of employment generation, in terms of activities, in terms of economic activities. The most important thing is how do they contribute to Indian economy? One is in terms of employment generation. Second, in terms of trade activities, they indulge in trade activities. They have to buy raw materials, or say they have to buy raw materials and sell the finished product. So this will lead to economic activities. And finally, we'll have to, and it is not that all our artisans are in a good condition. There are so many challenges our artisans face. So what are these challenges? One is poor quality of raw material. Next one is high cost of raw material. Next one is lack of loan availability, or say lack of credit availability. So there are various challenges that our artisans go through. So in order to overcome these challenges that our artisans go through, so the union government has opened up a new scheme called as PM Vishwakarma Yojana. So what is this PM Vishwakarma Yojana? So PM Vishwakarma Yojana. So this is your PM Vishwakarma Yojana. So what does this PM Vishwakarma Yojana deal about? So this PM Vishwakarma, the aim, the important vision of this PM Vishwakarma Yojana is to empower these kind of artisans. See, usually these artisans are extremely economically vulnerable. They are poor, and why they are poor? Their products are not able to be sold at a larger market. So that's the reason they are poor. And also they do not get raw material at a proper cost. Usually their raw material are highly inflated. And the next one is they do not get credit facilities. So as a reason, they cannot expand their work, or say they cannot expand their business. They do credit facility, in the sense loan facility. So they don't get loan facility. As a reason, they cannot expand. They cannot expand their. Yeah, I'm so sorry. Yeah, and so they cannot expand their business. So these are the challenges. In order to overcome these challenges, so we have this PM Vishwakarma Yojana. So what is the main vision under this of this PM Vishwakarma Yojana? That is empowering the artisan by giving comprehensive support. Comprehensive support, in the sense holistic support. Under this Yojana, we'll be giving holistic support. That is providing quality raw material, skilling them. That is giving them skills. Next one is giving them loans, giving them ID card. Next one, helping them to sell their products. So PM Vishwakarma Yojana is a comprehensive, that is, it covers end to end. That is, whatever the artisan needs, from the procurement of raw material till selling their products. So end to end, that this scheme will be taken care. So the aim is to create a sustainable and thriving artisanal and craft ecosystem. So this is your vision and aim of the scheme. Now let us see what are the key pillars under the scheme. So under PM Vishwakarma Yojana, what are the key pillars that we have? The first and foremost important thing is recognition. Under PM Vishwakarma Yojana, that is, we recognize the who is a artisan. So whether the artisan is a weaver, or whether the artisan is a pottery maker, whether the artisan is a goldsmith, we recognize them. By recognizing them, so what are we doing? We are indirectly recognizing their skills to make jewels, their skill to weave sari, their skill to make, say, pottery. So even this is also an artisan. Every artisanal work, every job that you usually find is one artisan, is one craft. So under this PM Vishwakarma Yojana, we recognize, the first and foremost thing is, like, we recognize the artisan. So that is the first thing. And the next one is we skill them. And the next most important pillar under the scheme is skilling them, giving them training. So giving them a training in terms of how to weave a sari, or say how to make a pottery, or say how to indulge in making jewels, or say cutting diamonds. So these are kind of artisan work, or say even for that matter painting. So these are the artisanal work. So under the next important pillar is, that is, we will be training them, or say skilling them. That is, the government of India will skill them. So this is the next important pillar, that is training program for skill development and upgradation, focusing on traditional skills. So basically, overall, under this program, first is we will recognize who is an artisan, what are the skills. And the next one is we will be training those artisans. Say if you are a weaver, we will train you how to weave. If you are a goldsmith, we will train you how to make jewels. So this is your second part of your pillar. And the next one is toolkit incentive. See, all these kind of artisans require some toolkit. So artisan means they require some toolkits. Say for example, this is a sculpture. So the sculptor. So this sculptor. So what he does? So he or she will require some hammer, some axe, some different tools are required. And you should know that the artisans in India are one of the among the lower strata. That is, economically they belong to a lower strata. So again, getting enough money to buy new tools is a difficult task for them. So under PM Yojana, under PM Vishwakarma Yojana, so what we do is we provide toolkit funds, that is toolkit incentives. That is a grant of 15,000 rupees will be given to purchase the important required toolkits. Okay, say for example, in order to sculpt any idol, so they require different kinds of toolkits. Say hammer, or say axe, or say different kind of toolkits are required. So again, under the scheme, 15,000 rupees will be given. How much? 15,000 rupees. Who will give? Government of India will give. So government of India will give 15,000 to the artisans, so that they can create new crafts. So that is the thing. And the next one is credit support. This is the most important part of this scheme, that is PM Vishwakarma Yojana. That is credit support will be given. What is this credit support? It's no high-fi words. Credit support means loan. That is, loan facility will be given. How much loan? Loan of 2 lakhs rupees at a concessional rate 5%. Now if you go to any bank, say SBI Bank, Canara Bank, if you take any loan, personal loan, so personal loan would be somewhere around 13 to 14%. So this is the general trend. Now the rate of interest is somewhere around 13 to 14%. Under this program, any artisan, or say any artisan will give somewhere will get 2 lakhs rupees at the rate of 5%. Now the market rate of interest is 13%. Government is giving them loan at 5%. Again, this is another thing. And the tenure, so you need, from exam point of view, you need not remember the tenure and all, but you should know that 2 lakhs rupees 5%. So this is important. And again, credit support will be given. So these are the important key pillars of, key pillars of the scheme. Clear? Any doubt here? Concession, Lopita, concessional means for everyone. If you go to SBI Bank, you will get loan at 13%. Concessional rate of interest means I'm giving you less. Concession. Say if the cost of one bread is 100 rupees and concessional rate is 60 rupees. Concession. So that is the concessional rate. Yeah. Okay. Clear? Okay, fine. Next one. Okay, so impact of the scheme. So what are the impacts of the scheme that we have? That is, what is the impact of this PM Vishwakarma Yojana scheme? The most important impact is that is, it is going to empower the artisans. It is going to empower these kind of artisans. How it is going to empower? One is it will help in upgrading the skill. What is the first important pillar of this scheme? That is, the government will be training them. The government will be providing them with skills. That is, under the scheme, what happens? So one is upgradation of the skills. That is, the under PM Yojana scheme, PM Vishwakarma Yojana scheme. That is, there will be upgradation of the skill. This is the first most important impact. And the next one is improved quality and productivity. How this scheme will lead to increased quality and productivity? How do you think the scheme will increase the quality and productivity? So how it does is through skilling. By giving them skills, by giving them training, what will happen? The output product will be high, the output quality will be high. If this woman gets good training, her output, so this output will be of a good standard. Again, that is improved quality and productivity. Again, that will lead to increased income and financial stability. How it is going to increase the income? That if the artisans are producing good quality products, automatically the price will go high. If the price goes high, then their income will automatically increase. So these are the main impacts of the scheme, that is PM Vishwakarma Yojana. Clear? Fine, very good. And the next one is how how it's going to impact. One is it's going to build boost the artisanal and craft sector. That is the artisan sector as a one unit. It's going to boost. Now, what are the important economic sectors that India is getting a lot of revenue from? The most important sector is service sector. So now with this scheme, that is PM Vishwakarma Yojana, that is even the artisanal sector also will have a boost. So usually the most revenue generating sector is your IT sectors. Again, with further support to this artisan sector under this PM Vishwakarma Yojana, again the productivity of the sector will increase. So that's the important one. That is enhanced competitiveness and market access. And again, that is increased innovation. How it is increased innovation? That is they will get money. So this women or say any artisan will get 2 lakhs rupees of loan. So if they get 2 lakhs rupees of loan or say crazy credit facility, automatically the innovation they can buy new products, new tools, etc. So as a result, the innovation will grow. And similarly, overall, when their products starts to be sold in different markets, what will happen? That will lead to increased economic growth. So these are the most important impact, and the last most important impact is the or say the intangible impact that this scheme will have is it will preserve the traditional skills. That is, under the scheme, what are we doing? We will be supporting the artisans. So what are these artisans? These artisans are the one who are indulging in traditional skills. Say for example, slipper making, chapel making, or say your sari weaving, pottery making, goldsmith. So what will happen when under the scheme, if it is going to support these artisanal people? So again, what are we doing here? What is the main impact? It is going to preserve the traditional skills. Say traditional skills like say chappal making. So if you go to your Maharashtra Solapur, it is known for chappal making. That is handmade chappals are found there. So under this scheme, that is PM Vishwakarma Yojana, so the people in Solapur, example, I'm giving you example, that is people in Solapur, they will get lot of incentives. So as a reason, the tradition of chappal making will be continued. So these are the most important impacts that you have in PM Vishwakarma Yojana scheme. Clear? Okay. So conclusion is again, it's a comprehensive scheme. It's very well, it's very much needed in the present time because the employment rate, the unemployment rate is also hovering at a very high level. So as a reason, under the current situation, we require this PM Vishwakarma Yojana scheme. Clear? Yeah, yeah. It's Kolhapur, Kolhapur. I'm so sorry. It's Kolhapur. Yeah. So kindly solve this. Yeah, it's which of the following statement are right with respect to PM Vishwakarma Yojana scheme? I know they can buy the equipments, right? They can buy the tools that are required for them. So very good, very good. Okay. So okay, yeah, okay, fine. Next we'll take up the next article. Again, this article was in your Kurukshetra. So, what is the sustainability of Indian rural enterprises? Opportunity. What are the opportunities? What are the challenges? And what are the way forward? So, this was a very good article. And what do you mean by Indian rural enterprise? So, please see here. What do you think is the Indian rural enterprise? So, Indian rural enterprise. Can someone tell what is Indian rural enterprise? Or say enterprise. What do you mean by enterprise? Stephen, yes, it's a central, it's a union government scheme. Okay, very good, Mega. So enterprise means it's a normal business. It's a small business. It can be a small scale business or large scale business. Enterprise means a business that is called as your enterprise. So the article deals with sustainability of rural enterprise. In rural area, how can business sustain? The entire article deals with business. That is, how can a business sustain in rural area? What are the opportunities, what are the challenges it has, and how do we overcome these challenges? The entire article deals with this one, that is business. It need not be Vivek, it need not be just cottage industry, anything, any business. So that is that's called as your enterprise. But in rural enterprise, again, it means that it will be the business, that is so business in the rural area. Again, so what is the power of rural enterprise? Why rural enterprise is very important? Why business in rural areas is extremely important? Why do you think it's very important? One is, see, in rural area, usually if you compare rural area, if you have been to rural area, usually the demand in the economy is very less. That is, the economic transaction that takes place in rural area is very less compared to your urban area. So that's the reason we call urban areas engines of growth, right? Because the economic transactions are very high in urban area, but whereas in rural area, the economic transaction, that is buying and selling, is very less. So as a reason, the economy is very stable, more or less it's stable. And in order to create this rural demand, so how come our Indian economy grow? How can our Indian economy flourish? Because if you consider, as per the available census that we have, 69 percentage of Indians live in rural area. So we need to focus on increasing the economic activity in the rural area. How can we do it? So in order to increase the economic activity, there has to be trading, that is buying and selling has to take place. In order to buy and sell, in order for this activity, that is buying and selling, who is important? Rural enterprises are important. Again, that is to promoting local economies. That is, in order to promote rural economies, rural enterprise play a very important role. That is, local businesses in rural area plays very important role. Local businesses can be a small kirana shop, a very small kirana shop in your rural area, or maybe you'll have this Monday mandis, or say Thursday mandis. So in rural areas, if you go to rural area, there will be mandis, weekly mandis would be there. Some village they will have on Monday, some village it will be on Wednesday, some village it will be on Saturday. So different days there will be some Mondays will be there. So again, that is also your rural entrepreneurship, sorry, rural enterprises. So again, it is going to promote your local economies. And next one is harnessing of local resources. This rural enterprise, or the local business, the rural area business, will not import goods from, say, your developed world, or say will not import a lot of goods from, say, China or say US. So most of the rural enterprises are dependent on the local resource. By promoting rural businesses, what are we doing? We will be using the rural resources, we will be exploiting the rural resources. That's the best thing. If there are no rural businesses or no rural enterprises, what will happen to the resources, that are raw materials that are there in rural area? There won't be much demand. They will have to export it to somewhere else at a very lower cost. So as a reason, when we have this rural enterprises, again we could utilize, that is harnessing the local resources will be possible by having this local enterprise, local rural enterprises. And the next one is, that is rural enterprises will lead to empowering the rural economy. See, rural enterprises, assume that there's a small business in a rural area. So what that business will do, if they have to employ someone, either they would employ members from their family, or they would employ someone from the neighborhood, or they will not bring in neighbors from a different rural area or say a different urban area, right? You just think over it. If there's a small business in rural area, whom will they employ? Usually they will employ from their family, or they will employ from their neighborhood. They will not call some worker from a different city or say different rural area. So as a reason, it is going to empower the rural community. That is mainly in terms of skilling, in terms of providing knowledge, in terms of say employment generation. So it's going to empower. And next one is, all these rural enterprises are based on the rural area itself. So what it will do, it will invariably lead to preserving the culture. Say for example, rural enterprises like say sweater making, or say like bamboo basket making. So these are rural enterprise, small business at a rural area. So sweater making, bamboo basket making. So basket making, classic example, you can consider it as a basket making. So all this basket making, what it will do, so they will invariably end up in preserving the heritage. So again, cultural heritage will be preserved. That is the power of your rural enterprise. These are the power of rural enterprise, or say rural businesses. So again, because these are the most important aspects of rural enterprise or rural business, it becomes very important for the government and for the private to protect this rural enterprise and promote that. So that is very important. Yeah. So understood why rural enterprise is very important. Okay. Okay. Recap rural enterprise. So Shushmit. Okay. Okay. Within 2 minutes, I'll recap. I'll give it. Yes. Papad making is also a rural enterprise. Yeah, any small business or big business, any business in rural areas, rural enterprise. So why rural enterprise is very important? I'll use short points again. Summarize. Someone asked Shushmit or something. Okay, see Shushmit, why rural enterprise is very important. One is it is going to promote the local economies at local level. In rural level, the economic transaction will take place. Let us assume that there's a papad making. Someone gave the example of papad making. There's a papad making of a small house, cottage industry is making papad. So what will happen? The rural area will start. The people in the rural area will start buying the papad. So what's happening? The transaction, economic transaction starts. So when the economic transaction starts, it will empower the local economics. Second one is harnessing the local resource. That is, in order to make papad, people will not import goods from your US or China. So they will be using the local level goods. That is the local rural goods they will use it. That is local rural raw material they will use it. So they are harnessing rural enterprise, rural business will harness, or say will utilize the local resources. And the next important thing about rural enterprise is it is going to empower the rural economies. That is, if there's a basket making cottage industry, whom will it empower? It will empower the people of the rural area. It will empower the women. It will empower the youths of that rural area, because it will provide jobs. It will provide employment. It will provide wages, salaries, etc. So as a result, it will empower the rural community. And finally, it is going to help in preserving the cultural heritage. Say, for example, pickle, the famous one in Bihar, that had come in Shark Tank also, right? That is Jhaji pickles. Again, pickle is one rural enterprise. So again, pickle is one cultural heritage. So different region has different kinds of pickle. Different region has, say, for example, basket making. These are like kind of cultural heritage. That is, rural enterprise will help in preserving these cultural enterprises. So this is the power of rural enterprise. So as a reason, rural enterprise becomes very important. But however, if you see the reality, rural enterprise faces a lot of challenges in India. In the present condition, yes, exactly. That is bangle making. Excellent. In the present times, rural enterprises faces a lot of challenges. So what are these challenges? The most important challenge is limited access to finance. Limited access to finance means access to loan. That is, all the people, all the rural enterprises, the people who are indulging in small business, in order to scale up their business, in order to expand their business, they require money. They require loan facilities. And if you see the regular banking sector, that is the regular banks, or say your scheduled banks or cooperative banks, they ask a lot of paperwork. Bring this document, that document, a lot of documents they ask. As a reason, the local, that is the local rural enterprises, yeah, as a reason, I'm so sorry. As a reason, the local rural enterprises, they do not get enough credit facilities, enough loan facilities, so they cannot expand their business. So what happens? They end up being a very small business. So in small business, you will not get enough profit. So this is one main important issue, that is lack of finance. And the next important issue that the rural enterprise face is inadequate infrastructure. What is the maximum infrastructure that you have? In rural area, matlab, there are so many infrastructure deficit. You will not get power regularly. Regularly in a sense, 24 out of 24 hours, you will get say 8 hours or 9 hours of power, and there's no proper roads. There's no bus facilities, or there are no transportation facilities. So there is no water facilities. So these are the inadequate infrastructure. Because of this, what will happen? The rural infrastructure, the rural enterprises cannot adequately grow. Assume that you are having a pickle business, or say you have a papad making rural business in rural area. You have one rural that is papad making enterprise in rural area. That is nothing but your rural enterprise, and there's no power. So the power, you have power only for 8 hours. There is no adequate supply of water, and there's no proper transportation system. So what will happen? Can you grow in that region? No, it's a big challenge. Lack of power, lack of water, lack of say transportation sector. So these are the challenges that the rural enterprises have to face through. And the next important challenge is lack of skill and knowledge. Lack of skill and knowledge in terms of their production. So even though the rural enterprise, they have the traditional skill, but since sometimes it's not very efficient. So they don't know how to market their products. They don't know how to use new equipments in an efficient way. They don't know how to use social media in order to produce, in order to expand their market. So again, that is lack of skills and knowledges. And the next one is limited market access. See, in rural enterprise, so what? How many people would be there in rural area? Rural enterprise means a small rural area business that is based in rural area. How many people would be there in one rural area? 1,000, or max to max 10,000 people would be there. 10,000 people is a small number to produce, to sell their goods. So again, limited market access. And top of it, this rural that is your rural enterprises, or say rural businesses, they do not use the advantages of social media, or say they do not market themselves in say e-commerce website like say Flipkart, Amazon, etc., etc. So this is one important challenge, that is limited market access. And the next one is lack of policy support. Government has lot of policies, but is it getting delivered? Is it getting delivered into the actual rural area? No. There is lack of policy support. That is insufficient government policies, and there's lot of regulations. Say, for example, this food regulation. A lot of the regulations are very stringent. As a reason, these rural enterprises cannot expand themselves. So these are the important challenges that the rural enterprises go through. Clear? Vivek, no, Amul is not a rural enterprise. Yeah. Okay, fine. So, what are the opportunities that is available? So these are the challenges, but what are the opportunities that are available? There's a lot of opportunities in the 21st century in rural area. We have lot of opportunity. Post this, you can consider post this geo revolution, that is post say 2016, 2017. After the accessing of internet at a very cheap cost, we have a lot of opportunities for the rural enterprises. A lot. The first one is we need to leverage the technologies. What are the technologies? Technologies like social media. You can sell your products in Instagram. Nowadays, if you scroll through Instagram, there are a lot many people selling their products through Instagram, selling products through your Facebook, Flipkart, Amazon. That is leveraging technologies. That is the biggest opportunity. That is the rural enterprise can easily leverage their technologies. Have your own website, sell in Instagram, your social medias. There are so many rural enterprises. They are selling their goods in WhatsApp. That is WhatsApp business account. They are selling. So that is all the rural enterprises. What they can do is they have to leverage the technologies. That is your social media or internet or various other technologies in order to sell their goods. And the next one is promoting digital literacy. That is in order to have a sustainable growth among your rural enterprises, we need to promote digital literacy. Without digital literacy, it becomes very very difficult to help out the rural enterprises. Nowadays, if you see, most of us are using your UPS for the payment. Most of us are doing online shopping. So as a reason, what happens? Digital literacy is extremely important for the rural enterprises to cater to the masses. if you guys are, if most of us are using UPI payments, if most of us are using online shopping, then but if the rural enterprises is not accepting UPI, will we buy products with them? No. Again, as a reason, because of that, we need to promote, that is, digital literacy has to be promoted properly. And the next one is strengthening the value chain. So what do you mean by value chain? That is, supply chain management has to be strengthened. That is, from one addition, that is, say one person will be making bread, another person will be making sandwich, and etc. and etc. That is, say, pickle. So again strengthening the value chain. Say in rural enterprises, one person will be selling raw mangoes, other person will be selling the pickles, and the next person will be selling another better version of it. So this is strengthening value chain needs to be focused on. So what do you mean by strengthening value chain? That is the logistics. That is, from one product to the next upgraded product to the next higher level of manufactured product. We have to strengthen it. That is, strengthen it from the producer till the consumer. There has to be proper streamline. That is everything. That is, quality has to be proper. Your raw material supply should be proper. The pricing has to be adequate. So that is the meaning of strengthening your value chain. And the next one is enhancing the market access. So how do we create, how do we ensure the sustainable growth of rural enterprises? That is, market access has to be increased. That is, enhanced market access. How to increase market access in the present globalized world? Say the present world is a globalized world. How do we increase market access? The only way is using internet. Using internet market access, we can a rural painting. That is, for example, you can consider your Madhubani painting. Madhubani painting is a tribal painting that is sold in your Europe. So how is it possible? Internet. Again, that is enhancing market access, but that is by utilizing your e-commerce website. E-commerce platforms has to be utilized in order to increase the market access. So, and the final one is promoting sustainable practices. Promoting sustainable practices in the sense, we need to use renewable energies, we need to use clean energies, we need not over exploit the resources. So if we do not over exploit the natural resources, we do not over exploit the water. So what will happen in the rural enterprises? It will be sustainable. See, as in that, if there's a papad industry and this papad industry exploits a lot of water, so what will happen in near future? The rural area will not have water. Then what will happen to the papad industry? It will be impacted. So again, in order to have a sustainable growth of rural enterprises, we need to promote sustainable practices. That is, utilizing the resources properly, not wasting the resources, and also promotion of these kind of clean energies has to be promoted so that sustainable development takes place. So these are the opportunities for sustainable growth. Yeah. And the next one, what's the way forward? What's the way forward to promote rural enterprises? What do you think? How do you promote rural enterprises? How to promote rural enterprises? One is, everyone has to participate in skill and credit availability. Very good. Increase market access. Very good. Again, here, in order to promote rural enterprises, we require participation from all the important stakeholders. Who are the important? If I have to develop a rural area, that is rural enterprise in a rural area, what should I do? One is, government should support them. That is, strengthening the rural role of government. That is, government should ensure that the banks give them credit. That is, government should ensure that they get the subsidies. Government should ensure that they have adequate access to all the raw materials. The government should ensure that the rules of government is not hampering them. So this is the role of government. And the next one is, the private sector should also invest there. That is, there has to be participation of private sector. If there's a rural area enterprise that is going on, the private sector should also buy products from them. Say, for example, Reliance, or say your Godrej, they have to also buy from the local private enterprises. So what will happen? The demand will be created. So this is, again, that is, the private sector has to participate in that. And the next one is, that is, building community based organization, like how we had AMUL, that is cooperative societies. Similarly, on that lines, we need to promote this community-based organization. If it's a rural enterprise, if it's a small rural business, then we need to have this community-based organization. That is, all the people should come together and work together. So as a reason, what will happen? These are the three important ways through which we can empower them. Yeah. And finally, what's the way forward? Way forward is, one is we need to promote research and development. That is in terms of rural area. That is specific rural area. Each rural area will have some specific raw materials. In that raw material, what all products can be produced. So that we need to have this research and development. Say for example, in say Mysore region. So in Karnataka, we have this Mysore region. In Mysore region, the important raw material that you get is silk. So research and development should be made in silk so that the rural area people will get to know what are the other products that could be created. Also creating of supportive ecosystem. What is supportive ecosystem? That is proper support from your private sector, proper support from government sector. Everything should be there so that the rural enterprises can flourish. So this is a way forward to promote rural enterprises. Clear? Fine. Nikat, supportive ecosystem in a sense, there has to be support from government, there has to be support from private sector, there has to be support from bank. Everyone has to be the support the rural enterprises. How R&D will help? Who is this? Starley. R&D will, if there is any R&D in terms of silk, and they get to know that, say for example, Chenpatna toys. So Chenpatna toys. So if there's a proper R&D in Chenpatna toys, or say which kind of wood is very strong, or which kind of paint is very durable. So if there's R&D, that is people will focus on that. Yeah, fine, good. The next step, encouraging of micro entrepreneurship in rural India. So, what do you mean by micro entrepreneurship? So, micro entrepreneurship means the small level entrepreneurs. That is the individual level entrepreneurs. That is known as your micro entrepreneurship in rural India. Small businesses. Very good. Very good. So, how to boost? What is the power of this micro entrepreneurship? Again, micro entrepreneurship, that is individual level. So these are your micro entrepreneurship. Each shop is one micro entrepreneurship. So these are your micro entrepreneurship. So how what is the power of micro entrepreneurship? One is they help in boosting the local economies. That is, hmm, each entrepreneur, if they start producing new goods, what will happen? It will automatically boost the local economics. One is, they assume that I'm a micro entrepreneur. So what would happen? I would produce some goods and sell it. So what will happen? My income will increase. And what is happening? If I buy someone's good, someone's raw material, their income will increase. So micro entrepreneur, what is the advantage of it? The first important thing is it's going to boost the local economies. Since assume that if I'm a micro entrepreneur in a rural area, and I produce and I make pot and sell it, pots or your potteries. So if I make pot and sell it, what will happen? In order to buy the clay, I need to give some money to the other person, so that person's economy will rise. And if I make pot and sell it, my economy will get elevated. That is, it is going to boost the local economy. And again, it will empower the communities. That is micro entrepreneurship. Again, it is going to empower the communities. That is, the local rural communities will automatically get empowered. How it's going to get empowered? That is, if my income increases, if I get employment, what will happen? Automatically my disposable income increases, my power in the society gets increased. So assume that if there's a woman, and this woman gets regular income through entrepreneurship, what will happen to the status of the women? The status of the women will rise. So again, it is going to empower the communities. Yeah. So Vishwajit, micro entrepreneurship, like entrepreneurship at a very small level. So that's your micro entrepreneurship, individual level. So next one is preserving of cultural heritage. That is again micro entrepreneurship promotes the preserving of cultural heritage. Say for example, leather making. That is individuals will be indulging in leather making, or say painting. Madhubani painting is classic example. So Madhubani painting, say if there's a woman or man who's painting Madhubani art and selling it. So what are they doing? They are preserving the culture of Madhubani paints. Again, that is the power of micro entrepreneurship. And next one is sustainable development. So micro entrepreneurs are like entrepreneurs at a very small scale. So again, so what will happen? They'll be utilizing their local resources. So because of that, what would happen? It will lead to sustainable development. So these are the powers of micro entrepreneurship. See, example, mega example, classic example, Madhubani painters. So consider this Madhubani Madhubani painters. So Madhubani painters. So these are your micro entrepreneurs. So Madhubani painters, not some industry. So these are micro entrepreneurs. So if assume that I am a Madhubani, Pulkit, food processing industry is not micro entrepreneurship. Consider Madhubani painters, a small scale painter. So he or she would be micro entrepreneurs. Yeah. Vishwajit, since the entire theme revolves around the entrepreneurship in Kurukshetra in rural area, so the topics do get overlap. Yes, Vishal, basket maker is a micro entrepreneurship. Good. See, the entire theme of Kurukshetra this month, that is November month, the topic which we are discussing, revolves around entrepreneurship in rural area. So topics do get repeated. Yeah, Sabha, what's your question, Sabha? Garland maker, very good maker. Okay, so unlocking the micro entrepreneurship. So power of micro entrepreneurship. What are the opportunities they have? That is, one is growing demand of rural products. See, if you are a micro entrepreneur, what are the opportunities that you have? A classic example, consider this as Madhubani painter, so that everyone will get to know Madhubani painter. So classic example. So what is the opportunity you have nowadays? If you see the product, that is the demand for rural product is increasing. There are so many Madhubani painters. They export, or say they send their paintings to Europe. So again, the demand for rural products is increasing. That is that's another opportunity. Next one is technological advancements. Assume that you are a micro entrepreneur. What are the opportunities you have? Technological advancement has increased a lot in the present time. That is, there's access to smartphone, that is cheap access to, that is access to internet, that is cheap internet. So because of that, technological advancement gives you a lot of opportunities. If you are a micro entrepreneur in some rural area, again it's going to give you a lot of opportunities. And next one is government supports. Government has numerous schemes for micro entrepreneurs. Say starting from, say, Mudra loan. So Mudra loan, or say we have considered this the PM Vishwakarma Yojana. There are so many government schemes that is going to support this micro entrepreneurship. So these are the opportunities that people have. And the next one is, but however, what are the challenges? What are the challenges that the micro entrepreneurs face? Uh, yes. The Kashmiri shawl. Yes, very good, Vishal. Very good. Again, the topics are more or less same. So as a reason, this time we have just taken three Kurukshetra topic. So this is more or less the same. So what are the challenges that the micro entrepreneurs face? The same challenges what you saw earlier, similar challenges. That is that is limited access to finance, or say limited access to credit facilities. There are no proper access to the loan facilities. As a reason, the micro entrepreneurship culture is not properly growing in the rural area. Next one is inadequate infrastructure. That is no proper infrastructure, say be it in terms of your transportation, or say in rural area, where in how many rural areas do you get say 4G internet? So as a reason, again, that is poor infrastructure facilities, lack of skills and knowledge. You have become a micro entrepreneur, but you do not have adequate skills and knowledges to sell your goods. So this is again lack of skills and knowledges. And the final one is market access. So usually the micro entrepreneurs, they do not have the big market access as that of the entrepreneurs in say Delhi or Bangalore, or say different entrepreneurs in urban areas. So these are the challenges of micro entrepreneurs. Clear? One would, yes, Madhulina, yes, we can consider giving GI tags. Very good, very good, fine. But however, what are the government initiatives to overcome the challenges? The most important one is say Mudra Yojana. So what is Mudra Yojana? Under Mudra Yojana, government gives loans. So they give loan up to 10 lakh rupees, up to 10 lakh rupees at a very consistent interest rate. So they give loan. So this is the most important one, that is Mudra Yojana. And the next one is Deen Dayal Upadhyay Kaushalya Vikas Yojana. It's nothing but your skilling program, skilling program, skilling program again. So these are the government initiatives to overcome the challenges. Prajna Mudra Yojana means it is a government of India scheme, that is a union government scheme, which gives you loan, and this loan is only for SC, ST, and women. Yeah. Yeah, same like Vishwakarma, but Vishwakarma scheme is for all the artisans. Mudra Yojana is specific for SC, ST, and women. Yeah, okay, fine. So again, Deen Dayal Upadhyay Kaushalya Vikas mission is nothing but your skilling program. Same like your, yeah, fine, good. Public procurement, yes, very good. Public procurement, very good. Okay, fine. So these are your government initiatives. Yeah. Now we'll go with the Yojana article, that is November Yojana magazine. If you guys get hold of this physical material of this book, it would be very good because the articles are extremely important from GS mains perspective. Again, whatever the articles that you get here is not mainly from your prelims perspective. More or less, all the articles are from your mains perspective. If you get hold of this somewhere, go to some bookmark, book place where you get hold of this November month Yojana magazine, it would be very good. So I don't know even which bookstall. Just go and find some bookstall in your place and try to get hold of this. You need not. If you don't get Kurukshetra November edition, not an issue at all. But if possible, get hold of this November month Yojana magazine. Quite important. Amazon shares, do we get in Amazon? I don't know shares, but you can check it. So yeah, I don't know, man. I'm so sorry. Yeah, okay. So we'll be taking up. Yeah. So that's yes, Akash, you can write on the same lines. You can write. Local newspaper distributor can provide this. Okay, if they provide, it's very good now. So okay, fine. So we'll be taking up this, that is G20 for planet, people, peace, and prosperity. Again, you should all be knowing that India was the president in the recent G20 summit. India was the president in the recent G20 summit. So the entire article of this Yojana revolves around G20. So, what did we do in G20? You would have seen a lot of news. That is, say, last month there was too much of news regarding G20. So, what is a G20? So, G20, India was the president, and what was the ultimate outcome of this G20 summit that was held in New Delhi? The ultimate outcome of the summit that was held in New Delhi was this New Delhi Leaders Declaration. What was the ultimate? What was the final outcome? Every meeting will have some final outcome. Here, the outcome of the Delhi summit, that is Delhi G20 summit, is known as G20 New Delhi Leaders Declaration. G20 New Delhi Leaders Declaration is the final outcome of the G20 summit that took place in New Delhi. Clear? So, what is there in this? What is there in this New Delhi Leaders Declaration? That's what this article deals with. Clear? So this article, that is the first article in this Yojana, that is G20 for planet, people, peace and prosperity. The article deals with explaining the final outcome of the G20 summit that took place in New Delhi. So what is the final outcome of the G20 summit? The entire summit was wrapped up in one declaration called as G20 New Delhi Leaders Declaration. Clear? Any doubt here? G20 New Delhi Leaders Declaration. Okay, so what is this G20 New Delhi Leaders Declaration? The important things of this article is discussed over here. So these are the highlight points. So what are these highlighted points? The first one is under the New Delhi Leaders Declaration. So G20 New Delhi Leaders Declaration. The first one was focus on strong, sustainable, balanced, and inclusive growth. That is, all the G20 countries, what they did was they focused on promoting the sustainable developmental model. So earlier, if you see, we were not focusing on the sustainable development model. Now the G20 countries, that is under the New Delhi Leaders Declaration. So there, all the countries, all the members of G20 accepted that we need to promote this strong, sustainable, balanced, and inclusive growth. So what do you mean by inclusive growth? Inclusive growth is nothing but there's our the current government's tagline, that is Sabka Saath Sabka Vikas. That is everyone. That is growth has to percolate to everyone, not just one segment. It has to percolate to everyone. That is called as inclusive growth. The G20 summit that took place, the ultimate goal was that is all the countries accepted that the growth has to be sustainable in nature. The growth has to be inclusive in nature. So this is what the final outcome of the summit was. That is the New Delhi Leaders Declaration Summit. One is sustainable growth, inclusive growth. That is, there has to be growth, but the growth has to be sustainable in nature, and the growth has to be inclusive in nature. So, what do you mean by sustainable growth? Sustainable growth means the growth that takes place in such a way that the present generation do not compromise with their needs. At the same time, the future generation also do not compromise their needs. That is called a sustainable growth. I'll again repeat it. Sustainable growth means it is a kind of growth where the present generation, that is our generation, we should not compromise the growth. At the same time, the future generation, that is our future generation, should not compromise their developmental aspects. So that is called a sustainable development. And the G20 summit, the final declaration was that all the G20 members accepted that there has to be sustainable development. At the same time, the growth has to be inclusive in nature. It is not that just one section of the society grows, or say one community grows and the other community is left out. That should not happen. So that was the first declaration. That is the first point of this New Delhi Leaders Declaration. That is sustainable growth has to be there. Sustainable, balance, and inclusive growth has to be there. So that was the first point. Sustainable, once again. Okay, sustainable means that is the present generation needs are satisfied without compromising the future generation's needs. Say for example, if I have if I can ensure the resource utilization in such a way that my needs are satisfied, at the same time my future generation needs should also be satisfied. So that is called a sustainable development, sustainable growth. Yeah. Exactly, Femina. Very good. Very rightly put it. That is judicious usage of resources in such a way that my present needs are satisfied. At the same time, the future generation needs are not compromised. So that is called as your sustainable growth. So Sabka Saath Sabka Vikas means growing. That is nothing but your inclusive growth. Okay, and the next one is the next declaration, and the next point under this G20 declaration was that all the G20 members accepted to complete these targets, that is sustainable developmental goals. This sustainable, there are 17 sustainable developmental SDGs, sustainable developmental goals. There are 17 goals are there. See here, there are 17 goals are there, and all the G20 countries, G20 members accepted that we need to complete this, we need to finish off this or achieve the targets of this 17 SDG goals. So when is the target? That limit is between, it was started in 2015 and it was supposed to be completed by 2030. So the G20 summit that took place in New Delhi, all the member countries accepted that we need to focus on achieving the targets given in SDG, that is Sustainable Developmental Goals. That is, we need to achieve all the 17 targets that is given in SDG goals. So this was the next declaration, that is next part of the declaration here. Okay, fine. That is accelerating the progress in SDG goals. That is, all the member countries should work together in achieving this SDG. SDG was started in 2015 and it was supposed to get over by 2030. And what did all the G20 members in New Delhi do? They declared that we need to focus on achieving the targets of SDG. Here. And the next one is, this is the most important one. There's one dedicated article on this one, that is Green Development Pact. So what is the Green Development Pact? This one dedicated article on this Green Development Pact. So what is this? So Green Development Pact, all the members of G20, what they did, that is members of G20, they considered that, and you all know that we are living in a phase of climate change. There's a lot of increase in the atmosphere temperature. Along with that, there's a lot of destruction of biodiversity. So what is happening? There is destruction of biodiversity, all your plants, trees, animals are getting extinct. So next one, along with the decline of biodiversity, there's also increase in temperature, global increase in global warming. So there is global warming going on. So because of this, that is decline in biodiversity and increase in global warming. So in order to overcome these factors, the G20 members, what they did, they signed something called as a Green Development Pact. So what is a Green Development Pact? It is a comprehensive roadmap for the next decade to address the environmental crisis through global cooperation. What is the environmental crisis that has been highlighted? The most important environmental crisis that has been highlighted is, one is global warming. One is, say, global warming. And the next one is, what's the next important environmental crisis that now we are facing? Famine, extreme weather events, good. One is global warming, and the next important environmental crisis is biodiversity loss. So these are the two important. Okay, melting of glaciers. Okay, fine. Air pollution, everything will come in. So these are the two important environmental crises that has to be addressed under this Green Development Pact. It is a comprehensive roadmap for the G20 countries in order to deal these two major issues. One is your global warming, and the next one is biodiversity loss. So these are the two important issues that the climate, that is the Green Development Pact is focusing on. And the next important thing is, under the New Delhi Leaders Declaration, that is, we also, that is, all the G20 members accepted that there has to be some technological transformation and digital public infrastructure is needed. So what is the digital public infrastructure? Digital public infrastructure are nothing but, consider your UPI app, your Aadhaar, e-Aadhaar app, or say your CoWIN app. So these are digital public infrastructures. So digital public infrastructure means, say for example, your CoWIN app is a digital public infrastructure. Or you would have heard about DigiLocker, right? You would have heard about DigiLocker. DigiLocker is a digital public infrastructure. DigiLocker is a public infrastructure. It is not. It doesn't belong to any one private entity or say one person. So DigiLocker is a digital public infrastructure. So this would be the classic example. What is digital public infrastructure? The public infrastructure, or say the digital medium, or say the digital apps Like say DigiLocker is one digital public infrastructure. Your CoWIN app is one digital public infrastructure. These are the public infrastructures that will facilitate the public services. So that is called as digital public infrastructures. Clear? So the G20 members accepted that every country should promote these kind of digital public infrastructure, and there has to be technological transformation in the sense like UPI is considered as a paradigm, has led to a paradigm shift in your all your financial transactions. So this is a technological transformation. UPI is completely new concept that led to a technological transformation. That is how transaction takes place. So that is driven by UPI now. That is nothing but your technological transformation. UPI is one technological transformation. The G20 countries accepted that every country should focus on these kind of technological transformation, some breakthrough technologies. UPI is one breakthrough technologies in entire world. So wherever UPI is considered as the most easiest way of financial transactions. So this is easiest and also secure. So we do have similar kind of transactions in China, but that is not very secure as that of UPI. So UPI is considered as a breakthrough technology. It's a cutting edge technology that has led to some paradigm shift in the financial transactions. So again, this is known as your technological transformation, and there has to be digital public infrastructure. All the G20 countries accepted that the G20 members should focus on these kind of technological transformation and digital public infrastructure that is going to help the people. So this was the next part, and the final one is that is voice of global south. That is the G20 members should focus on being the voice of global south. So what do you mean by global south? Global south, for the people who are very new to this international relation concept, global south can be considered as countries who are dominated by developing and LDC, least developed countries. All the countries belonging to developing stage are in the developing stage, or LDC. LDC is nothing but a least developed country. They fall under this. They are called as global south. There's something called as a brand line, but see guys, if you don't know, it's totally fine. But below this brand line, so the southern part of this line is your global south, and global south constitutes your developing and least developed countries. So under G20, we focused on that is being a voice of global south. Clear? Fine. Okay, good. Now solve this one, please. With respect to G20. Good, good. Okay, so this was the first article in the Yojana magazine. Now we'll go in detail regarding this Green Development Pact. So that was there in this G20. Very, very important. G20, it was one of the most important. That is, in G20 we had this G20 New Delhi Leaders Declaration. The final outcome of G20 summit is known as G20 New Delhi Leaders Declaration. Under this declaration, this Green Development Pact was very, very important. So what is this Green Development Pact? So under this Green Development Pact, it gave a roadmap towards your sustainable future. Sustainable future in the sense not exploiting a lot of raw material and creating global warming and leading to loss of biodiversity. So in how do we avoid global warming? How do we avoid the loss of biodiversity? So that is given in this Green Development Pact. Yeah. So this was the article, that is Green Development Pact, a roadmap for sustainable future. Roadmap for sustainable future. Yeah. Sambhavi, yes, G20 is quite important for 2024. So 2024, it is very, very important, because when the G20 summit was going on, already the 2023 mains was completed. It was in the midway. So since it was in the midway, so there is very high probability that G20 becomes very crucial for 2024. That's the reason why I asked you to get hold of a physical copy of this book here, that is Yojana Magazine, November edition. If you have a physical copy, it's very good. Yeah. So, so what is this G20? That is a Green Development Pact. Very simple. So what is the Green Development Pact? It serves as a roadmap. It's a comprehensive roadmap which focuses on your sustainable future by giving ways to promote your circular economy. What is the circular economy? We'll come back to it in a few minutes. But the G20, that is the Green Development Pact, it provides you a framework as like how the global world should coordinate, not just a G20 countries, but all the countries, how the global countries have to coordinate towards sustainable and inclusive development while addressing the environmental and climate change challenges. Environmental challenges is nothing but your biodiversity loss. So biodiversity loss, and your climate challenges is nothing but your global global warming. Yeah. So how do you manage biodiversity losses? How do you manage global warming? So this was the pact. So what did India do under this pact? India promoted something called as Mission Life. That is, we need to promote. You would have heard about Mission Life, right? So Mission Life is a important scheme of Government of India. So what India did under this Green Development Pact was India promoted the concept of Mission Life, and they told that all these G20 countries, if they focus on this concept, that is Mission Life, it would automatically help in controlling the environmental losses and will lead to sustainable future. So now the question is, so what did India do in order to promote sustainable in G20 meeting? What did India do? So India told that if our ultimate aim is to promote sustainable future, what we can do? India told that the best way to have the sustainable future, sustainable growth is that better we focus on this Mission Life. So what is this Mission Life? We'll see to it. So Mission Life is your union government program which focuses on 7 key points, 7 key themes. So what are the 7 key themes? So this is what India told when in G20 meeting, when it was asked that how do we have a sustainable future? So how do we have a sustainable growth in the future? So India told that better we follow the government of India scheme called as Mission Life. That is, all these members of G20 has to follow this Mission Life scheme. So what is this Mission Life scheme? It has 7 important themes. So what are the 7 important themes? One is you reduce waste, reduce e-waste, adopt healthy lifestyle, adopt sustainable food systems, say that is avoid using the single-use plastic. Single-use plastic are nothing but your plastic bottles. That is the pet bottles, the Coca-Cola or Pepsi pet bottles, what you get, that is your plastic, single-use plastic. We need to save water and we need to save energy. We will go in detail. So what is this? That is 7 themes for life transformation. So what are this life themes? That is Mission Life. So the Mission Life. So Mission Life is a scheme. It's a union government scheme. So under this, under G20, the government of India told her we can have this Mission Life scheme in all the members of G20, among the countries of G20. So what is the 7 themes of life transformation? first one is save energy. That is the first one is save energy. What do you mean by save energy? Don't try to overuse fossil fuels. Rather than, it is better we focus on renewable energy sources. Renewable energy sources are like solar energy, wind energy, wave energy, etc. That is under save energy. We need to promote the renewable energy. So this is what the first thing is all about. Next one is save water. So save water is, how do you save water? We can save water by recycling and using this rainwater harvesting. That is, recharging of, it will help in recharging of groundwater. Rather than every time using new water, we can recycle the water, or say recharge the water using your groundwater, or say rainwater harvesting. So that is rainwater harvesting. And responsible usage is nothing but recycling of water. So through that we can save water. And the next one is say no to single use plastic. Say no to single use plastic. For example, your polythene bags, what you carry, or say your pet bottles, okay, or say your Bisleri bottle. So these are your single use plastic. And there's a new report, that is your WWF Living Planet report, that says that one of the biggest threat to biodiversity, the most biggest threat to biodiversity is single use plastic. This single use plastic has now gone into the many of the living organisms in the ocean. So again, the biggest threat to biodiversity loss is single use plastic. So under mission life, or say one of the themes of life is say no to single use plastic. It means that reduce the usage of single use plastic. So these are the three important themes of life transformation. And the next one is reduce e-waste. And we all know that your 21st century is your digital age. 21st century is considered as a digital age, and everyone has a lot of digital equipments. And if we do not recycle all the digital equipments properly, then what will happen? That will lead to the deposition of lot of e-waste in your environment. So the G20, under G20, under this Green Development Pact, so what does it consider? That is, we need to reduce the e-waste. That is reduction of e-waste, and responsible usage of the electronic goods, and properly disposing of e-waste is very crucial. And the next one is adopting sustainable food systems. So what do you mean by sustainable food systems? That is locally available food. Don't try to import a lot of imported foods. Like say you all in India, kiwi fruit is an imported food. So why if we need to import a lot of food, that will lead to carbon emission. A lot of carbon footprint will increase. So that is, we need to adopt sustainable food system. That is, grow local, eat organic, and then minimize the food waste. That is, minimize the food waste. Do not waste the food. Grow local. Eat what is available in the local. So don't try to import a lot of foods also from different countries. So whatever is available at the local level, eat the same thing. So that will reduce the carbon footprint. And the next one is reduce the waste. That is, reduce waste. So what do you mean by waste? In general waste. The earlier one was reducing e-waste. This is reducing waste. So how do you reduce waste? That is, you recycle, refurbish, moving towards your circular economy, recycling and mindful consumption. So do not overconsume. That is nothing but your circular economy, focusing on circular economy. And the final one is adopting healthy lifestyle. Healthy lifestyle in the sense having good being physically active, and healthy diet, and responsible travel. Responsible travel in the sense no unnecessary travel, because what happens, due to travel there's a lot of carbon emission. So there has to be, if there's a carbon emission, that will lead to again climate change. So these are the important themes through which we could prevent your climate change, we could prevent your destruction of biodiversity. Yeah, pro planet people. Good, Mega. Yeah. Akash, responsible disposal of e-waste means, that is, you do not directly dump the e-waste in some garbage. we need to dump it in a proper designated dustbin so that the e-waste gets properly recycled. If I dump my e-waste, assume that this is a e-waste, if I dump it in a normal garbage, this e-waste will not be properly recycled. You would have seen, say, in airports or say in malls, you would have seen a separate bin for e-waste, a separate dustbin for e-waste. So if you put the e-waste over there, again it gets properly recycled. So that is the meaning of responsible. Now, just composting means decomposition of degradable material using microorganisms. So that is called as composting. Yes, Chandrajyoti, that is e-waste are recyclable. Yeah, yeah. Solids. So good, good, good. Yeah. So C is the answer. Okay. So now let us take the next article. This is very important from GS 3 perspective and GS 1 perspective. So designing a circular economy world. So what do you mean by circular economy world? So it's very easy. What is circular economy world? So circular economy. So if you have to understand circular economy, you just need to see this slide. So what is circular economy? So this is a linear economy. That is, linear economy means we take the resource from the nature, we manufacture it, and we dispose it. You would have seen this kind of use and throw pen. So use and throw pen. What we do? We take the resource, I use it, and I throw it. And most of the phones that we see nowadays are kind of this linear economy. I use, how do I make this phone? So how do I manufacture this phone? I take some resource, I mine it, I make this lithium ion battery, and I use it. After using it, what I'll do? I'll dispose it. Do I recycle? How many of us recycle this phone? How many of us refurbish this phone? We do not. So currently most of the world is in this linear economy model. But then what is the what is the opposite of it? It's known as circular economy. Circular economy means what we do is I make this phone, I prepare or manufacture this phone, I use this phone, again I recycle it. So that is circular economy. I manufacture this phone, I use it, again recycle it. Whichever product could be recycled, I'll recycle it. Say for example, if the screen is good, I'll use the same screen to another phone. So why manufacture one more new screen? So if the battery is good, I'll use the same battery to another phone. So again, so this is called as the circular economy. Understood? Understood the difference between linear economy and circular economy. Linear economy deals with take, make, and dispose. I take the resource from the nature, I make new products, use it, dispose it. So that is your linear economy. Circular economy is I take the product from the nature, I make the product, use it, reuse it, reuse it, reuse it. As long as it becomes unusable. So as long as it becomes completely unusable, I will be reusing it. So this is called as your circular economy. Yeah, Vivek, yeah, linear economy is use and throw model. Circular economy is use and reuse. So this is your circular economy model. So which model is good? Circular economy model or linear economy model? For the world in the present times, which model is good? Circular economy or linear economy is good? Very good. Circular economy, very good. Someone is telling linear economy is good. Why linear economy is good? See, the why linear economy is bad, because the resources are not infinite. The resources are finite. How much lithium mines I'll have? How much coal do Earth have? How much water do Earth have? It is limited. So as a reason, Linear economy is not sustainable. Maybe we might have coal or say lithium for next 2 or 3 generations, or say next 100 200 years. After that, what will happen? So as a reason, we need to move towards the circular economy. Clear? So, what are the key principles of circular economy? One is what is the key principle? One is we need to design for longevity and durability. So, in what do we do in circular economy? In circular economy, after manufacturing this phone, I use it, reuse it, recycle, reuse it. If that is the aim, then what should I do? Assume that we have to focus on, we have to move to a circular economy. Then what will you do? If I have to reuse it, recycle this phone, what will I do? I will ensure that the phone's longevity increases. That is, the screen's longevity increases, the battery's longevity increases, and again the battery becomes more durable, or the screen becomes more durable. So this is the first important principle in a circular economy. That is, whatever you make the product in such a way that it is more durable, and the longevity of the product is very long. So as a reason, what will happen? The cost for recycling will automatically come down. If in a circular economy, if every phone has to be recycled, so recycling will take a lot of money. So recycling will take some money. So rather than recycling, what we'll do, we will ensure that the phone will last longer. We'll ensure that the battery is more durable. So as a reason, what will happen? Automatically the usage of the product increases. So that is the first thing. That is designing the product in such a way that it is more durable and the longevity is very high. So that is the first principle. And the next one is promote reuse and refurbishment. That is, if there's any rather than throwing away this phone, so what we do is we try to reuse it. If the screen is broken, what we do is we try to reuse the IC chips, we try to reuse the camera, we try to reuse the battery, or we refurbish it. We refurbish in the sense, if the screen is broken, we'll replace with a new screen. I'll not buy a new phone, I'll replace it with a new screen. So that is known as refurbishment. That is, again trying to make it new. So that is known as a refurbishment. Next one is emphasize on recycling and responsible waste management. That is, if the phone is not being used, or say if the phone has some issue, I will recycle it. And there has to be proper responsible waste management. It is not that every part of this phone can be recycled. There would be some parts which cannot be recycled. What do I do with that? There is no way. There would be some products, some parts in this phone that I cannot recycle. Then what do I do? I will have to manage that waste in a responsible manner. In the sense, I will not throw that waste in some lake or say some in ocean. What I'll do is I'll ensure that waste is properly managed. So that is the nothing but a responsible waste management. Clear? Fine. So these are the key principles of circular economy. But what are the benefits? What are the benefits of circular economy? What are the benefits? The most important benefit is environmental benefits. That is, when I do not when I use this product, rather than throwing it in some lake or say throwing it in the soil, what will happen? The most important benefit is for the environment. I might save some money. That is my benefit. But if you see from the larger context, the environmental benefit is very high, rather than my benefit. My benefit is I will save some money, but environmental damages will be reduced. That is the biggest advantage in circular economy. In circular economy, don't consider that humans are getting a lot of advantage. That is, the money spent with humans are less. That is one advantage. But however, the biggest advantage is that the products are not will not hamper the environment. The When we recycle the products or say refurbish the product, again what will happen? The environment damages will be very very low. That is, we can reduce the environmental damages. In circular economy, the environmental damages would be reduced. Yeah. And the next one is economic benefits. Economic benefits is job creation. See, job creation. What is the job creation? That is, if this phone is broken, rather than me buying a new phone, what I'll do is I'll go and give it to some local mobile shop, and that mobile shop, there will be some job generation in the local mobile shop. Again, job generation would be there. Again, cost savings. Rather than me buying a new phone, I will go and get this phone repaired. So it would save cost for me. A new business opportunity. What are the new business opportunities? That is, at small scale, people will start manufacturing screens. People will start manufacturing cameras. Small scale new business opportunities will come up. So again, that is, these are the economic benefits, and finally the social benefit is improved quality of life. How there is improved quality of life in social, in circular economy? How can there be improved quality of life? Can someone tell? How can there be improved quality of life? Yeah, there can be improved quality of life because of environmental benefits. In circular economy, the environmental damages will be low. As a reason, my social benefit will be there. That is, I will be residing in an environment that is very good. In circular economy, what happens? The environmental damages will come down. So I will end up residing, or say end up living in an environment where the damages is very low. So that is, my quality of life will improve. Clear? So these are your social benefits. So these are the overall benefits of your circular economy. So next, solve this. Very good, very good, Ashwin. That is a reduced pollution. Fine, very good, very good. Okay, so D's answer, all of the above. So circular economy means it will create more jobs for waste collectors and recyclers. That is one thing. Next one is it will reduce the pollution from manufacturing and waste disposal. So in circular economy, what we do, rather than throwing out this, I will recycle it. So again, waste disposal. There is no waste, enough waste that is generated. Next one is increase the lifespans of the product and material. Since we try to recycle, so rather than recycling, what we do is we ensure that the product is more durable. So these are the benefits, circular economy. How ye, Parshuram, how ye, it creates more job for the waste collectors and recyclers. So for example, if rather than me throwing out this phone, in circular economy, what do you do? Recycle it. That is, in recycling, what we do? We segregate screen, we segregate the battery, we segregate the IC chips, and then we try to recycle. Someone has to segregate, right? So if someone has to segregate, one job is created. So that is the creation of jobs. Okay. Okay. So digital public infrastructure. So what is this digital public infrastructure? DPI. So what is a DPI? Okay. So now everyone focus here. DPI, digital public infrastructure. So digital public infrastructure. So you would have seen, in your phone you would have something called as a DigiLocker. DigiLocker. I think most of you would be using this DigiLocker, or say you would, during COVID times you would be using this Cowin app. So what is this Cowin app? What is DigiLocker? So what is Cowin app? What's Cowin, DigiLocker? Yeah, excellent, Chandrajyoti. Very good, Chandrajyoti. You would have seen this M Aadhaar app. You would have seen this M Aadhaar app. Also, the lot of these kind of apps are there, right? So mainly in your roadway, Ministry of Roadways, lot of these kind of apps are there. So what is this called as? Okay, there's something called as, this is DigiLocker. Or say there's something called as, you would have heard about this bank locker. You go to your bank, a regular bank, and you would see this bank locker. What is it? What's the difference between DigiLocker and bank locker? DigiLocker, and what's the difference between DigiLocker and bank locker? Can someone tell? Bank locker is a physical infrastructure. Exactly. No, no, no. Money is theek hai. Even in bank locker, you can keep all your documents safely. DigiLocker also, you can keep all your documents safely. In bank locker, don't just think that you can keep only money there. You can keep your goals, or say your documents, your land documents, or say any of your important documents. We keep in bank lockers. So what is this? Bank locker and DigiLocker. What's the difference between this? So bank locker is a physical. You would have seen bank lockers, right? In bank lockers, we keep all our important land papers, or say some important insurance paper are kept in bank lockers. So, or say, yeah. So bank locker is a physical asset. I can physical infrastructure. I can go touch that bank locker. Can you touch DigiLocker? No, you cannot touch a DigiLocker. You cannot measure it. You cannot tell, say, a small DigiLocker, or say a 1 feet by 1 feet DigiLocker. You cannot tell that. But whereas bank locker is a physical asset, it's a physical infrastructure. So DigiLocker is a digital infrastructure. So bank locker is also one public infrastructure. Public infrastructure in the sense it is open to the public. You can go and access the bank locker by paying some money. Similarly, DigiLocker is a digital infrastructure. Again, DigiLocker is a public infrastructure. Anyone can access DigiLocker. It is not specific to one community, or say one section of the society. DigiLocker is also a public infrastructure. Bank locker is also public infrastructure. But bank locker is a physical infrastructure. DigiLocker is a digital infrastructure. Are you getting it? So DigiLocker, yeah, hard copy. Very good, very good. Okay, bank locker is a physical infrastructure. DigiLocker is a digital infrastructure. But however, both are public. That is, bank locker could be accessed by public. DigiLocker could also be accessed by public. So this is the basic difference between your bank locker and DigiLocker. So what is this? What is this? Digital public infrastructure means it is some technological framework, or consider it has to be one technology, or say one software, or say one tool that facilitates government services and public participation through digital medium. So if the government services are provided, if there is some government services, what is this? Public locker, or say this is bank locker. Bank locker, SBI bank locker. So what is this? SBI bank locker. So SBI Bank Locker, again, it is one public government services given to the public. So that is government physical infrastructure service given to public. So that is your SBI Bank Locker. Then what is this DigiLocker? DigiLocker is again government digital infrastructure services given to the public. So that is called as digital public infrastructure. What is digital public infrastructure? It just means that there is some technology, digital technology, that is given to the government, that is given to the public as a part of government services. I'm again repeating, digital public infrastructure means it is some digital infrastructure, some digital technology that is given to the public as a part of government services. So in DigiLocker, what do you do? What is this government services that the government is giving? The government is giving access to some data, that is some cloud data where you can upload all your documents. So that is called as your government, that is digital public infrastructure. It is a technology that is offered by government as a part of government services. So that is called as a digital public infrastructure. And what excellent, e-khata, very good, very good. DG Yatra, excellent, Mega. So good, good, good. So good, good, very good, very good. So what are the aims of digital public infrastructure? DPI is digital public infrastructure. What are the aims of DPI? One is improve the service delivery and citizen experience. Say if you would have experienced this Digi Yatra. So Digi Yatra, if someone has recently went to some airports, you would have experience. If you would have experienced a Digi Yatra, or say forget Digi Yatra, most of you would have experienced DigiLocker. So what is the DigiLocker? This DigiLocker, is it easy to carry your hard copy 12th standard marks card or a soft copy 12th standard marks card? Is it easy to carry your driving license, hard copy driving license, or a soft copy driving license in DigiLocker? Which is easy? Always soft copy. You can say in my mobile, I have all my educational documents, insurance document, RC copy, driving license, everything I have in here in the DigiLocker. So the experience, that is the service delivery and the citizen experience, is very high. That is the aim of digital public infrastructure. One is improve the service delivery and citizen experience, and the next one is reduce corruption and inefficiency. Reduce corruption in the sense, today if I have to get a duplicate RC copy, so do duplicate RC copy, if you have to go and get it somewhere in the local RTO, what would happen? There would be some level of corruption that would be indulged. But using digital public infrastructure, in DigiLocker, I can have a RC copy, I can have a soft copy of RC. So this soft copy of RC, that is RC book, will not get lost. So again, what will happen? I may not have a duplicate RC copy. The soft copy of RC will work. So again, that will reduce corruption and inefficiency. Next one is foster transparency and accountability. Again, through your digital public infrastructure, that is, say for example, your e-khata. So e-khata, or say your for example, in Karnataka we have this land e-bhumi project, e-bhumi. So e-bhumi, so these are your digi app, that is, you will get all your land documents. That is, it will ensure transparency and accountability. So land documents are easily available over there. And the next one is, it will bridge the, that is, our next aim is to bridge the gap, that is your digital literacy gap, that is, bridge the digital divide and empower citizens. So another aim of this digital public infrastructure is to bridge the gap, that is digital divide, and empower the citizen. So these are the broad aims of your digital public infrastructure. Yeah. And the next one, what are the key initiatives for this digital public infrastructure? So the most important, the famous digital public infrastructure is Digital India initiatives. That is promoting the, you would have seen the flagship scheme, that is 2015 Digital India scheme. So Digital India. So the scheme, under the scheme, there are so many there's a Digital India schemes are there, the sub schemes are there. So that is the most important one. And the next one is PM Jandan Yojana. So again, PM Jandan Yojana. So here what we do, we use, it's known as a Jam Trinity. So PM Jandan Yojana. So through PM Jandan Yojana, we have the Jam Trinity. So one is your J is for your Jandan account, and the next one is that is your Aadhaar. This is your Aadhaar, and M is for your mobile. So again, this PM Jandan Yojana, again, when it is combined with Aadhaar and mobile, again, that is nothing but your digital public infrastructure. So this helps in your all your financial transactions. Again, next one is Aadhaar. Aadhaar is one digital public infrastructure, that is access, that is identity, providing identity to this 1.4 billion people. Again, Aadhaar is one digital public infrastructure. Next one is DigiLocker, as I see earlier. So these are the important, also major digital infrastructure that is given by the government of India. Clear? Yes, Chandrajyoti. BHIM is also digital public infrastructure. EPAN. So many digital infrastructure is there. Yeah, that is EPAN. PAN card. EPAN. We have this EPAN. PAN card. Yeah. So in the conclusion, is that India's initiative aligns closely with G20's priority. So even in G20, that is, we focused on providing this digital public infrastructure. That is, whatever India is doing, that can be replicated in other part of the world. That is, other members of G20. Umang app, so many things, which are very good. So we'll take up the next one, that is responsible use of AI. This is very important article because a day before yesterday, Prime Minister Honorable PM also told that we need to have AI, but however, it has to be utilized in a responsible manner, because we had a lot of issues with deep fake. We had a lot of issues with this deep fake. So Honorable PM also told that we need to use AI, but it has to be used in a responsible manner. So that's what Honorable PM also told. And the article also deals with yes, Chester, very good. So the article also deals with responsible use of AI. So why AI? What is AI? What is AI? AI is artificial intelligence. AI is artificial intelligence. So why AI has to be used in a responsible manner? Can someone tell why AI has to be used in a responsible manner? Because AI can be misused. For example, deep fake, security issues, privacy. Yeah, excellent, excellent. In order to avoid misusing. Very good. It can be biased. After very good one. It can be biased. It will lead to creation of echo chambers. Correct, correct. It will have okay. Sure, fine, fine, fine. Okay, okay, okay. Abuse activities. Okay, okay. Yeah, Himanshu, very good. Yeah, very good example. Okay. So So what are the pillars? What are the pillars to use the AI in a responsible manner? How can I use the artificial intelligence in a responsible manner? What are the key components to use the artificial intelligence in a responsible manner? The four most important one is if I had to use the artificial intelligence in a responsible manner, the most important thing is we need to protect that is artificial intelligence has to protect human rights and ensure transparency, that is protecting human rights, that is the basic dignity. If artificial intelligence is used to violate my dignity or say compromise my dignity, then that is not the way to use artificial intelligence in a responsible manner. If we have to utilize artificial intelligence in a responsible manner, one thing is that artificial intelligence should ensure that the human rights is protected and there has to be transparency the way it is being protected. So that is the first thing. And the next one is it has to foster fairness and mitigate the biasness in AI algorithms. So that is fostering fairness. That is fostering fairness in the sense you would seen that you would have seen a lot of news that is artificial intelligence is biased towards one kind of race. It is biased towards one kind of race. It is biased towards one kind of gender. So again, there are so many cases where artificial intelligence has given some negative results towards one kind of genders. That is the that is usually the transgender community has given in a negative way. Or say artificial intelligence is kind of biased towards the one kind of race, that is the colored race. So it has been biased. So again, if we have to use artificial intelligence in a responsible manner, the artificial intelligence should ensure fairness, that is everyone should be treated equally and there should not be any biases, that is bias against one kind of race, bias against one kind of gender, so bias against one kind of country or say one kind of religion. So that should not be there. So that's how we can use AI in a proper responsible way. And the next one is establishing accountability mechanism for AI development and deployment. See, it is not just see who are the major players of AI presently. Who are the major AI players? So usually, it is ChatGPT, and Bard. So these are the two. That is your Microsoft. ChatGPT is nothing but OpenAI. OpenAI major player is Microsoft. The two important players in the current AI market is Microsoft and Google. So that is establishing accountability mechanism. It is not that Google or Microsoft can do whatever they want in AI and they'll be left free. So there has to be, if we have to use a responsible AI, then the developers has to be held accountable. If AI is being misused, so the developers have to be held accountable. That is establishing accountability mechanism. So you have to ensure that the Google or Microsoft or any other software company that is developing AI should be held accountable. And the next one is implementing appropriate regulation and safety measures. Yeah. See, all this AI is developed by the private entities. So the government has to ensure there's a proper regulation, there's a proper accountability mechanism has to be there. Else, what will happen? AI will be misused. Yeah. So these are Google Gemini. Yes, Google Gemini is now integrated into Bard Mega. Okay. Okay, so yeah, so these are the important pillars for responsibly using of AI. And what are the ways through which AI's potential can be used for global good? What are the ways through which artificial intelligence that is capacity can be used for global good? So what are the ways? One is we need to share the benefits of artificial intelligence equitably across diverse population and nation. Now, what is happening? If we have to use artificial intelligence for the global good, what has to be done? So that is the slide talking about. If artificial intelligence has to be used properly for everyone's benefit across the world, what has to be done? That is, the artificial intelligence benefit has to be shared equitably among all the countries. So if you consider here now what is happening, most of the artificial intelligence technology is being utilized by the developed world. See, what is the cost of accessing chat gpt 4.0 4.0? It is around $20. So $20, that is 20 US dollars, is a costly, very costly affair for Indian or say developing country. It amounts to somewhere around, say, almost you can consider to be 1,600 rupees per month. But whereas $20 is not a big thing for a developed world or say European or say any of the developed world, so they can easily afford. So again, what is happening over here? The benefit of artificial intelligence is not being properly distributed. So if we have to ensure that the artificial intelligence benefit is being properly distributed, ensure that there is price parity. That is, for developing world you reduce the price, for developed world you increase the price. That's how you want to do it. It's not that for entire world you are putting $20. So $20 may be very cheap for the US person, one American person, but $20 a costly thing for India. In India, who could afford 1,600 rupees to access ChatGPT 4.0? Again, this is the issue. Next one is leveraging ChatGPT. That's sorry, leveraging artificial intelligence to address global challenges and SDG. That is, achieve SDG. So that is artificial intelligence. What are the targets in SDG? That is, so resolving health issues, resolving water crisis, etc. So artificial intelligence plays a crucial role in managing health. That is, in health sector, artificial intelligence plays a very crucial role in managing health. That is, if we have to ensure that artificial intelligence benefits everyone in the world, again we need to leverage the artificial intelligence concept in addressing the global challenges and achieving the SDGs. And the next one is promoting international cooperations and dialogues on AI governance. Now, what is happening? Artificial intelligence, and in the globalized world, everyone in the globalized world, due to internet, everyone can access artificial intelligence. That everyone can access ChatGPT or everyone can access BARD. So, as a reason, what is happening? We need to have proper global governance on this artificial intelligence, like how we have a global governance on the financial markets. We need to similarly we should have a global governance on artificial intelligence. Else, what will happen? So if any rules, if there's any country which doesn't have adequate rules on artificial intelligence, people will start misusing it. So we need to have a global governance on artificial intelligence. So these are the ways through which we can use artificial intelligence for global good. Yeah. Nikhat, what is AI algorithm? AI algorithm in the sense the code uh, that's used to run any artificial intelligence, that is called as algorithm. Okay. So, what are the commitments and collaborative initiatives under G20? So, reaffirmation and commitments of G20 AI principles. So, what is G20 AI principles 2019? So, in G20 AI principle 2019, it's all about ensuring that artificial intelligence is not being misused. That is, artificial intelligence is not being misused. At the same time, the concept that artificial intelligence benefits gets equally shared. That is the basic principle. That is G20 AI principle 2019. That is avoiding the misuse of artificial intelligence. Secondly, the benefit of artificial intelligence has to be equitably shared. So that is your G20 principles. So in order to promote this artificial intelligence, we reassured, that is reaffirming the commitments of G20 AI principles. And the next one is emphasizing on sharing information on AI approaches to support solutions in digital economy. That is, we need to emphasize on sharing information on AI approaches. That is, in digital economy, that is, we need to leverage the AI technology to overcome the challenges. So that is your emphasizing the sharing information. If there is any artificial intelligence knowledge that could help in overcome the challenges for digital economy, that has to be shared. And the next one is commitments to promoting responsible AI for achieving SDG. That is, in G20 meeting, so we committed that AI technology has to be promoted to achieve this SDG. And the final one is call for international cooperation and discussion on AI governance. So AI, we all know that in the globalized world, AI could, if AI, that is ChatGPT and BART, if it is originated in US, it could be used in say any country like Somalia, Sri Lanka, India, wherever it could be. But if all the country do not have a proper governance, what will happen? That can be misused. So in order to avoid that, there has to be call for that all the international government, that is governments across the world, has to come together and focus on international AI governance. So, Saurabh, what is this G20 AI governance principle? So, the broad concept is G20 AI principle talks about ensuring that artificial intelligence is not being misused, and the the benefits of artificial intelligence is equitably shared among all the communities. So, that is your G20 AI principles. And let's solve this. Vicky, you need not make any notes. We can just go through it. That should be sufficient. Running notes is sufficient. So good. Okay, so fine. Good. So D is the answer. Okay, so if there is any doubt, let me know. Okay, thank you, Mega. Thank you, Kamini. Okay, so Sham, I am not getting your questions here. Ramavant, previous slide, Ramavant. Okay. Yeah, what is this leaderboard? Oh, it's okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Pranit. Okay. Okay. Fine. So leaderboard. What is leaderboard here? Okay. Answer is B. Answer is B. Okay. Okay. Fine. Chalo. Thank you, guys. So good night. Good night. Good night. Have a great life. Okay. So good night, guys. Good night. Good night. Yeah.